Hey everybody, welcome to Start a List with Carol and Stacy. I'm Carol.
Well, I'm Stacy. April Fools.
Am I? Lord.
We thought we'd keep y'all on your
Oh,
toes.
shoot. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Carol. But hey, see, that
Can't
just
quit
goes
laughing.
to show you. That just
Oh,
goes to show you how close we are. We think we're each other.
I am losing my mind, y'all. Holy moly. Sorry about that. I forgot who it was.
I love it.
Oh
Well,
my
look,
gosh. How are you?
I'm good. I got up and I have not got on any makeup and I slapped some lipstick on it. And I
Oh.
reminded me of a funny quote. It said, "Nobody will mess with you if you put your lipstick on like the Joker."
Oh yeah. I
So
love
I'm like,
that.
okay.
I need somebody to
Yeah.
mess with me. I don't even know who I am.
I, that was so funny. Anyway,
Welcome.
woo,
But so
yes.
before we get off into this, we mentioned this. We're a little late this week. We were both very busy last week. Carol was having a big vintage antique sale, and she was busy working on that all week. And then it was Easter, and we did not do this last week. So
Yeah.
we had mentioned on our last one that we were going to do one more and then be taking a little break and just maybe a couple weeks so we can spend some time together brainstorming and planning out our next season 2. And
I can help Stacy practice saying that she's Stacy.
well, golly, I need a name tag apparently.
Speaking of the vintage sale, it took so long to get it all set up and
It's like
set
doing a yard
out.
sale,
Of
you
course,
know.
no, it was, yeah. So anyway, we had a couple of interesting, last episode I kept asking what's wrong with people, and
Well,
boy,
ask what's wrong with me because apparently I don't.
well, the content just keeps on coming. So
Yes.
anyway, we had an interesting visitor, and she brought her Rolly card. I mean, she was a serious shopper, and we were like, yay, she's going to buy a lot of stuff. And so I'm going to name her the long shopper.
Okay.
She stayed almost 2.5 hours, and we still don't know why. And bless her heart, I think she was just reminiscing and enjoying, but we weren't sure. I'm not sure if she.
I bet it's a long time to be in somebody's garage.
Well, I know, and I don't know what was happening, but anyway,
did she buy anything?
About $40 worth, which is fine. That's a lot for. I mean,
for 2 hours. Holy moly!
But everything fit in one little bag, and but she did say, she said, I really have to think about every piece I buy and where I'm going to put it and what I'm going to do with it. Okay. Where I just
grab it.
Shop like a crazy lady. Yeah, I'm like, oh,
maybe
I love it. And I grab
she must be a very intentional shopper. Now, mind you, I don't know. Or maybe this is like her social time, and she didn't mind to sit there for 2 hours.
She did mention, yeah, she has a daughter with a illness, and so probably that was like, I am not going back home. Yeah. This is the most pleasant time I've had in a while. Yeah. So I understand, but I wasn't expecting her. I thought
moving in with you.
Felt pressured to ask her if she wanted a sandwich, but anyway.
Are you staying the night? Would you like?
Yeah.
Did we set a cot up for you?
What do you take in your coffee? But anyway, the kicker was one lady who bought she did buy very intentionally. Like, she bought unusual. She didn't care what the price was. She was like buying good, high end, and interesting things. And she said, where in the world did you get all this? Now, Stacy has seen my garage. Both sides of my garage is set up like a literal antique store, like shelving, displays.
It's very nice. Y'all done a good job.
Well, thank you.
They have cute lights hanging up and everything. Ambiance.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna light a candle.
There was
I
no music,
forgot.
and I learned that when we were in Pigeon Forge that they played some jamming music at the Antique Malls. I didn't hear no
Yeah.
music, girl. That was a
Well, I
letdown.
had it on. You just couldn't hear it.
No, well, it
No,
was
I had
loud
it
at the
on.
music at the Antique Malls. Like we were jamming.
Yeah. Well, I was busy raking in the money. Sorry.
Oh, well, it's fine. I'll come
Anyway,
DJ next time.
yes, yes, and have a lemonade stand or a bundt cake stand.
Shoot, I should have thought about that.
Anyway, one lady said, "Where in the world did you get all this?" And I said, "Well, most of it's my mother's, and then I said hers, my sister-in-law who was doing the sale with me. Shout out to Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
And the ladies, and I said, and mine, I said, I just do it for fun. I enjoy going to antique malls and just, browsing and picking. And she said, "Oh," she said, "Well, which one of you is dying?" And
Oh,
I guess I just stared at her. I paused and I looked
you're
at
like,
my sister-in-law,
well,
and I said, "Well, neither one of us." And then the rest of the day, I couldn't let it go. I was like, "Who?"
I stopped by that day, and the
asked
first thing she said was,
that?
"Some lady asked me if which one of us was dying."
But who asked that? Because you can't ask that anymore,
I'm
especially
never
at our
quick
age.
enough. Well,
Well,
dang. I'm
I'm
never
just
quick
saying.
enough when somebody says something like that because I go into
Mm.
blackout shock mode. And,
That's
after
what
the
I
fact,
did.
I've thought of 25 wonderful comebacks, but in the moment, you're just so
Well, the first
stunned.
thing Stacy said was, Stacy said, "Why didn't you say I am?" and just stare her down. I said, "Well, I didn't think of it."
I mean, technically, we're
But
all
yeah,
going to
I
die
hate
one
that.
day. And you should have just said, well, I'm just,
Well,
thinking ahead.
we all are dying. I mean,
Yeah, but
if
I'm
you're
saying,
born, you're
yeah,
on your way
you
to
should have just
death.
told her, you're
But
like, well, I mean, we're
goodness.
all going to die, ma'am. I'm just getting ahead of the game with getting rid of some stuff.
Ask for it. But anyway, that was interesting,
Gosh,
and I was
Lord.
not prepared to answer that. But
Mm.
anyway, so please don't ask people if they're pregnant or dying. People
Yeah.
out there,
I mean, that's a little
that's just
strange.
not. You don't ask them. Yeah. But anyway, that kind of leads us to our topic this week, right?
Yes, we've
Our
just
silly
over
adventures.
silly adventures. Over the course of our friendship, we've had about a million of them. And I'm looking here because I made a list. There were,
Hey, make a list. Still
but
got a list.
yeah, we like to have a silly adventure. I mean, every week we do this is a silly adventure, but hey, and we've had so much fun doing this, you guys. Like, we've met some new people. We've had the opportunity. I'm going to mention this real quick before we get into our crazy stories. So, we've had the opportunity to meet some new people, and because we're all about bringing humor and light, just, a funny time and stuff. And so, I've actually met some people who have, really said how they enjoy listening, or it makes them remember certain stories, even within my own family and stuff. So, we're excited that we've been able to do this, to even figure it out.
Yeah.
And I know your
No, I'm excited.
your volume went way down. I
Well,
can't
I'm
hear you.
excited to. Oh, wait. How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, sorry. I'm excited about taking a little bit of a break and working on some more content because you know as well as I do, we can do nothing and the content will just seep into our world.
It does.
So
It
that's
is. We
gonna
got to
be
keep
fun.
notes. So,
But yeah,
well, so
Yes,
years
I know.
ago, I'm going to talk about our first crazy adventure because it kind of goes along with your sale.
yeah.
Golly, this has been, I don't know. Lewis was in starting middle school, so sixth grade. So it's been a long time ago. And I took a year off from teaching and ended up working for a neighbor of mine, just part time, very part time, at a local warehouse. Which that's another story because that's something I had never done before. Anyways, part of their fundraiser every year, they did a lot for
Where
what was it for? We raised money for it at school.
Oh, was it United Way?
Yeah, I think it was United Way. So they would do like sales
Mhm.
every year, and like if they got returned shoes that had never been worn, they couldn't put them back out. Anything like that, and you could purchase it, and then the money from the sale of those would go. I think it was United Way. And so they also would do a big yard sale. And so I had told my neighbor, she was my neighbor and my friend, we're still friends to this day, that I would come help at this yard sale. It was on a Saturday. And this warehouse sits off of Highway 109 in our area. And it's a busy highway. Like it's not the interstate, but people drive on it like it is the interstate. Okay. But this
And
warehouse
it's the
sits,
only cut through.
yeah.
It's the only cut through from 840 to
Mhm.
540, or
Yes.
one of the
And
cut
it's
throughs.
big trucks
Well,
drive on it. People drive on it like crazy. But this warehouse sits way back off the road. There's quite a bit of a drive. So they had this yard sale set up kind of like in front of the warehouse, just basically on the side of the drive that they had. Okay. It wasn't up near the place or anything. So I don't even remember, and you'll have to help me remember. I had been there helping with this yard sale, and you came
no,
by
you
or something,
said,
didn't
"Hey,
you?
Carol." No, 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 no. You said, "Hey, Carol, we're gonna be doing a yard sale," and she said, "I know you've done a million. Do you want to come and help me, or come by, or
Yeah.
whatever it was?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I don't know. I donated some stuff, and then
Yeah,
I
we picked
kind
up
of
some
shopped
chairs
it
or
for my
something of
son.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah, and so uh, but then I had made, or you and I made posters or
I
something
don't
to
remember how
advertise. We
we
were going to
did. And
help
I probably
advertise
can't
it.
remember because this was also when we were doing that diet where we were starving to death. So I was, my nutrition was depleted. And so I couldn't remember.
So we probably were in a food coma,
Well,
or
the
lack of
lack
food
of
coma.
food coma. So we get our cute
Mm.
yard sale signs and we head out to the side of the road on 109. And I've got a picture of it.
Yep.
And if I can figure out how to insert this picture, I will. And we're holding up our yard sale signs. Mind you, there are
Yeah.
semi trucks driving by, blowing us off the road. Okay.
I mean, our hair, I think I had on a skirt or something with shorts,
Lord,
and my skirt was flying up every time one of them
we
would drive
got
by.
so
But
tickled. I was like,
also,
we've lost our minds. We're standing out here on the
and we
side of the
were,
road.
yeah, and then we were like, we were signaling the trucks to blow their horns, and they would blow.
I don't even
And
know.
they'd
Did we
go
drive
by.
in any business with our sign? I don't remember.
Well, I think a couple of cars turned around and came back, and we were
Yeah, I think
jumping and
so.
clapping like we'd won the
Yeah.
championship. And then, but here's the funny part. We looked like the boxing round ladies, but walking like, okay,
Well,
round three.
ding ding.
But we didn't look like them. No, we didn't look like them, but we were
We were
acting
acting
like
like
them.
them. What this has nothing to do with
But
that. But
it
speaking
was,
of signs on the side of the road, one time my sister was when she was in high school. I don't remember, it was student council. She was very involved in that. They were having a car wash at
mm,
what is now Mount Juliet Middle School. Okay, so it used to be the high school.
mm.
And I was in college, but I was probably home for the weekend. So I said, well, I'll come help. So one of my jobs I got assigned to do was to go stand up on the side of the road, Mount Juliet Road, with a car wash sign.
Always a good time.
It's always a good time. And so I'm standing up there with the sign. I'm all by myself, and I take a step back, and I have like fallen into a ditch. Like 1 minute I'm on the side
Of
of the road,
course.
the next minute I'm down in the ditch, and nobody knew that I had fallen. I scraped my knee up. So I have to climb up out of this
Of course.
ditch. I went back down there and I'm like,
Another fall.
I fell in the ditch. And they were all like, you did? I'm like, I'm sure somebody driving by was like, well, there was a lady standing there. Then all of a sudden she vanished.
I guess they cut off, they ended the car wash. She just
I don't know.
disappeared into a
But that made me remember
gosh.
that
Well,
standing on the side of 109 with our yard sale signs. I hope if I can figure out how to insert a picture, I'm going to do it.
that is hilarious. Well, and also that you're saying years ago, I mean, now COVID seems like years ago, thankfully.
Well,
But
it was. Thank the Lord.
during that time, well, I know during that time, we were like, we have got to get together, but of course, weren't going to dare get in each other's presence. And so the first time we quote, got together,
This was
we
early.
met
This was
at a
early
sauna.
on COVID, like right when it first started.
Like the week after it hit.
Like this is
And
how bad it
everybody,
was.
people
We
were,
hadn't even been in
Yeah.
quarantine, but a week, and we were like, we need to see each other.
a week. Yeah. And we're like, I'm not doing this. And so we get in our cars and we both drive to Lebanon and we pull up at the Sonic. And here we are. We have on our masks, mind you, and we're inside my car, and she's in her car. We roll the window down and we carefully turn toward one another, hoping we weren't going to catch anything. We had all the windows down. We're going to let the
Ooh, that makes me laugh.
germs.
I have a picture of that too. And
And
we were in the picture,
we got a
but we're
picture, and we're like, hey,
talking to each other.
Yeah,
We
we're
ordered a
waving.
snack. We had snack time in the car.
we did. We had
And-
snack and visitation
We
with each
did.
other.
And
But
then
it was
I mean, listen, we were following the rules. We were 6 feet apart in our car.
I
One
used to
time-
get frustrated with people driving on the interstate. Like, you're in your car, all four windows are up. Why do you have on a mask?
By
I had
yourself.
to-
They weren't even with somebody.
by themselves. And I'm like, and maybe they were just trying to train themselves. Cause I tell you what, I struggled. It was hard to breathe when that thing.
Well, one other time we would get together in the driveway. Remember, you'd come over and I'd put out camping chairs and we'd sit far apart out in the sun and
we
we'd
did
visit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that a couple of times. We thought we were going to get a tan, but we didn't.
One time it was cold and
Oh yeah.
it was, people, we were just being extra cautious because we didn't want to get the COVID. And you came over and Perry had bought one of those big heaters like you see at a restaurant outside, like on a patio. And we sat out in my garage and cracked the garage door so we didn't, asphyxiate ourselves. And we had
were in
Perry crank
blankets,
up the
too.
heater.
We had blankets, and I think we had hot chocolate.
You would bring stuff like snacks and whatever, and I would come out and we would be across from each other in the garage where we weren't,
Yep.
breathing on anything. And we had Perry roll the heater in there and cranked it up.
Poor
Listen,
thing. Poor
whatever.
guy. He'd have to set up the visiting area.
I mean, you had to figure out ways to do it. So
Yeah, people got pretty creative, and that's funny. And then one time, now I don't think this was during COVID. It was during COVID because I remember I could not. Does anybody remember you could not purchase online lawn chairs or a swimming pool? I guess everybody bought them up, and they were
they couldn't
either
go do
selling-
anything.
Yeah, you couldn't go do anything. Well,
I feel like this was later in COVID though, because we could be around each other. like,
right.
we were-
but
We weren't on lockdown anymore.
we weren't. But you couldn't purchase certain items.
Yeah, we
because
weren't really
they'd
going
all been-
places and doing stuff.
Right. Everything had been bought up. Well, I snagged a rectangular blow up pool with a fake slide on it. And I probably paid $200 for that thing, but I
She
was
did.
so excited.
She called me
was
and she's
so
like, I got a
excited.
pool.
I got a pool.
And it
I
was more
was so
like a
excited.
tanning pool. Like you weren't deep diving in it. It was more like a
No.
laying out kind of pool, right?
Correct. But that's all we needed.
Yeah.
I blew that puppy up. I drug the table out there. I got an umbrella. I was trying to reenact a resort.
You bought a margarita machine and put it in your
bought a
basement.
margarita- I bought a margarita machine. What else did I buy?
She called me and she's like, we're having a pool day. We're
Yeah,
gonna lay
we're
out
gonna-
by the pool. And I got all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, and I think I had umbrellas in our little drink cups and stuff. I don't know. It was ridiculous yet again. But
We
that
had
was
our
a lot of
chairs
fun.
out there. We got down in the pool. I don't know how we got up out of the pool. and
I don't
she
think
had
we went down the slide.
no, I don't think we went down the slide. But so I show up, we have our little, I feel like we had like chip and dip or something. I don't know. I feel like you
Oh,
had snacks and
it was a whole thing.
we were gonna be in the pool. We're like, this is our new thing. We're gonna go and lay in this pool, and I'll come over and we'll do this. And you had the margarita machine cranked up and the snacks,
Yep.
and we did it
Yep.
one time.
Well, that's our record for we'll start something, we'll do it
It
once.
was a
and
lot
then
of
we
work to
quit.
blow that pool up,
But
though.
y'all, well, I was gonna say, y'all, we literally did that, and then it poured down rain. The thing filled up with leaves and junk, and it ended up letting it. I don't even know. Bottom line, I turned that thing over and rolled it into a ball and put it in the trash finally. But it was fun while it lasted.
It was fun the one time we did it. Now we have had some. Well, we had
it was.
It was very fun, and I appreciate all the effort you put into it because you did. You had it all cute and set up, and anytime you'd go to Carol's back in the day, even if we would sit on the porch, you'd set up a little table and chairs, and it was always cute. Remember that we did it on your front deck one time.
Well, yeah,
You're so cute.
and back porch too.
The back. Now, one time we did take the kids to a real pool. We didn't. I had for 2 summers when Lewis was in middle school, I had National Shore passes. So if you're listening and you're not from around here, National Shores is a little water park. It's been here, I feel like, forever. And it's in Hermitage, so a couple towns over. And you can buy a pass for the summer. They've got swimming pools, water slides, a wave pool, all the things. And when you buy passes, yeah, and it sits on the lake. So you can do things in the lake. They've got a campground. There's a lot to do. So for 2 summers that we did this, it was fun because Lewis was the perfect age because he could do things. I didn't have to be right on top of him. And we would either find other friends that had passes and we'd go with them, or you got a couple passes to bring people in the summer. So one time I said, hey, do you and Will, her son, who's just a year behind Lewis in school, want to go with us to National Shores? We'll make a day of it. So we're like, yep, let's do it. So we packed lunches because you could leave the park and go to your car and eat something. You didn't have to spend money buying junk there. So we packed coolers. We go to the water park, and we had a fun time that day. The weather was really nice, right?
Yes.
And we were like, that park.
Of course, they wanted the $9 Slurpee.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we bought it for them. They had so much fun because they were just the good age to go. They could do the water slides by themselves, and me and Carol would kind of park somewhere. And this park was kind of divided in half. So you had the half with like the water or the wave pool and stuff, and then the other side had like a regular pool and whatever. So I think we kind of divided the day in half. We would say, we're going to stay right here if y'all want to go ride the whatever slide. So we had parked it in some chairs near this wave pool area, and it had like a snack bar thing behind us and the big wave pool. And we'd been there for a while at this point, and I looked, and it was crowded, and we like to get there early so that we could get out of there before it got too crazy. We're sitting there again, minding our own business. And I look over and there's this entire family, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, children, all getting into the wave pool.
Grandparents.
With their socks on. They had socks
knee
on.
Socks.
Like pulled up.
Knee socks.
Socks. And I couldn't quit staring at it because I'd never seen anybody in my entire life. I'd seen people wear water shoes or water sandals. I had never seen anybody in full on knee socks getting into the wave pool. And I was like, Carol, why are they wearing socks? I still don't know why they were wearing socks. Well, were they afraid they were going to get a fungus?
Yes, we decided that they were trying to, and think about how intelligent that is, though. The pavement's hot when you get out of a pool. Okay, so maybe they were trying to protect the padding of their feet. I don't know.
I mean, I haven't seen the bottom of my feet off at a water park. Oh, Lord.
I haven't either, but I have scraped them off on the bottom of a pool.
Oh, yeah, same, yeah.
So
Mhm.
maybe they were saving their toes. Who knows?
Whoa, do you
Anyway,
know
the
so they
funniest part,
go ahead.
the funniest part was when the boys came over, they were like, "We're hungry." And we must have had like this look on our face, like, you guys are not going to believe this. Well, when they saw them, I looked at all of us had our mouths open, staring like, what is
Yeah, it was
happening?
bizarre.
Well, then the kids got to laughing. They were like, what in the world?
Yeah.
It was different.
And
But
we,
anyway.
the other funny story from that same day, you'll have to tell it because I had forgotten about this when we went out to the car to eat and I had the hatchback up and
Oh,
we were all sitting there eating our sandwiches or whatever.
yeah. Well, my son was also in middle school and he had gone out for the basketball team. And I think at the day prior, you would, pull up to the gym door and run up and look at the list. It was like you had your tryout, and then here
Yep.
was listed all the people's names that made the team. And so Stacy's making, we're just chatting, and she said to her son, she said, "Hey, did you know Will made the basketball team?" Because we had found out, and her son's chewing on his chips, looking around. He goes, "I did." And we all were like, "What? Did you
What?
even hear what she said?" Well, then we all laughed again. We laughed and laughed and laughed till we were
No. I remember Will just
eyes were
cackling.
watering.
I was like, Lewis, you don't play
And
basketball,
he
man.
still talks about no. Like, wait, you don't remember trying out? He's like, no. I'm like,
I
yeah,
did.
because you didn't.
Oh my gosh, that
Mhm.
is so funny.
Oh, that the story reminded me of a story you told me about your water park family
Oh,
trip.
yes, that's what I was going to tell you about. So I
Uh-huh.
probably won't ever go back to a water park, but well, again, Lewis was in middle school and we
Oh,
took a
now
family
don't say
trip.
never say.
Never say never. We took a family trip to St.
Uh-huh.
Simon's Island in Georgia, and this was probably
Mm.
summer before 8th grade. And it was me, my parents, my sister, and her family, blah, blah, blah. So one day we decided to drive over to, I don't know if it was Jekyll Island. I can't remember. Just me and my husband and Lewis and my sister and her family to this little water park, very similar to like National Shores size wise. It wasn't a huge water park. And I'm like, oh, this will be a fun day. The kids are going to love this. And I like water parks. So, hey, let's have fun. So, me
Yeah.
and Perry and Lewis and my sister and her husband and kids, we all go to our first water slide. I think we stuck our stuff in a locker and boy, we just took off. So, the first one we choose to do is just one you walk straight up and that shoots you straight down, right? So,
Those are painful, if
they
you know
are.
what I mean.
Well, and I mean, this has been several years ago. So I was a little young. Well, I was younger, obviously, if it was several years ago. And it's a two-man raft. Okay. So I don't exactly remember the
Oh,
order,
dear.
but I remember that like my niece and Lewis went down together. No problems. Okay. Then my
Mhm.
brother-in-law and my nephew went down. No problems. So the only people left are me and my sister and then my husband. So Kara and I said, we'll go together and then he'll come down by himself. Now, I'm a bigger lady. So I'm bigger that we have 10 minutes. I'm bigger than my sister, y'all. So this lifeguard tells me to get in the front of this raft. Now, I am no water park expert. I'm thinking this seems unbalanced. I'm like, shouldn't the big bird person be in the back? But I assume they know what they're doing. So okay. So we get in, we go flying down this water slide. And as soon as we hit the landing, I don't know what happened because I blacked out. We hit it. All I remember is I have been launched out of this raft and I'm underwater and I can hear my sister going, Stace, Stace. Like she doesn't know where I
Oh,
vanished
gosh.
to. I'm taking in water and I pop up through the seat where your butt goes. And I'm like stunned. I don't know what's happened. My glasses had flown off. And so I'm like,
Why are you wearing your glasses?
I can't see it all. And so the funny part is, I used to have these sunglasses that I'd fit over my glasses, and both pairs had
Oh,
flied off. And so, and the lifeguard at the end of this is like finding my glasses. I'm choking to death because I've taken in all this water. I still don't know what has happened. I look at my net. We get out
not
down there, and
funny.
she goes, "I didn't know where you were." She was like, "I didn't know if you fell out up in the top and we're hanging on." She was like, "I didn't know where you were." We get out of it. I'm traumatized. My little sweet nephew goes, "That was cool. Can you do that again?" And I'm like, my brother-in-law was like, "You literally launched up and did like a front roll over of yourself, like a flip under the water and came back
Whoa.
up through the hole of the seat." So meanwhile, Perry, my husband, still at the top of this, watching all of this happen. And he looks at this lifeguard and he was like, "Oh my God, is she okay?" And the lifeguard just said, "This happens all the time." And I'm like, they did that on purpose. I swear they're like, "We got a big one and a little one.
What?
Put the big one in the front so she can launch out of the front of that." And I'm not lying, y'all. I searched online. I was hoping somebody had videotaped it and I was going to end up on a funniest of water park adventures video because I wanted to see what happened. Anyways, that was the last time I was at a water park
Unbelievable.
and I did a trick.
Well, tricks and tips for water
Yep.
park adventures.
I did
My
a trick
goodness.
and I spent the rest
It's
of the
not,
day in the
it's
lazy
not,
river. It's done.
well, it's not funny. It's not funny when you do go underwater like
I
that.
feel like I could have
You
broken my
know,
neck.
well,
Who knew I was that
of
bendy?
course, I'm well, my favorite part is how you shot it through the bottom hole.
Yeah,
Like, how did you do that?
I'm laughing at my
The
sister looking
seal.
around trying to find me. She doesn't even know where I'm at. This all happened so fast. So,
I'm
oh,
sure within
God.
5 seconds. Well, I don't know. I would love, speaking of pools, I would love to have a pool. I would love to, I
Yeah.
bought a million blow up pools. I bought the blue Dollar General pool. I mean, and it is easier to just go to a pool, but
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's a lot of
I think I'm
maintenance
about to
and
get a
work,
senior. This
no
is where we
matter
are in
how.
life. Maybe you should consider this. I went over to Jimmy Floyd Center
Okay.
last week and I was like,
Uh-huh.
my mom goes over there, she takes some little classes. And I thought, no, this is shameful. My mother is over there taking little exercise classes. I need to get myself together. So I went over and I was talking to the lady. I just wanted to see, like, I've had a swim membership there, like when Lewis was little, because I've got a great little wading pool area, their
Right.
big pool. But if I wait till I turn 55, I can get the senior rate to join, which is about $200
Oh,
cheaper.
okay.
And then if we
Well, I
wanted to
could
go
join now.
to the pool or to do anything, it's just $7 a day for Perry. So like he won't use it as much as me. So when I turn 55 this
Right.
month, I'm gonna go get me a senior membership at the Jimmy Floyd Center. And I'm
Well,
gonna
y'all know if she does it, I'm gonna have to do it too. And then
well, I
we
thought,
can
they've
start
got
a
that walk-in
1-day
track.
swim club.
Well, they've got that walk-in track. It's not that far from the
Stacy.
house. What? They've got this
Oh.
groove and tone or groove and something class. I'm like, ooh, that sounds fun. I might start doing that. Because it's like during the day, like 10:30. So, anyways, and then I was like, oh, I can go
Well,
over there and lay out at the
now I
pool.
gotta do it too.
Well, I was just thinking, then, I mean, I don't think it's like a relaxing pool. It's probably full
Yeah.
of kids, but I could get off in a corner somewhere and sit by the pool in the summer.
Well, how much is it? $7 a day, or you're
It's
talking about a
$7 a
pass?
day. And then I think it was like 300 and something for the whole year. So if you're a senior, which I will be this
And you can
month,
take, and then can you take your grandchildren or?
I mean, I guess you have to pay a fee or whatever, but she was saying like if you pay the fee,
Yeah.
it's all day, like you can come and go. So if you wanted to come in the morning and take a class and then go home and have lunch and then come back and use the pool or walk on the track, it's like for the whole day. Now, I don't know if they
Nice.
give you like a piece of paper. I don't know how they know, but Anyhow, that's my new thing, and I'm like, okay, I can go to the pool this
Wristband.
summer. Yeah. So
That's
I won't be
that's some
dumping off the
fun.
diving board
Well,
though,
you
so don't
know,
worry.
well, you might could give them a show and reenact some tricks.
Whee! I'll let you know so you
Well,
can
if
get
you're
one
gonna
too.
do it, then I'll have to do it. Yeah, tell them, say, if we buy two, if we get 2 passes, can we get an extra discount?
Well, then Ginger and the
Gracious.
baby
Well,
could come because they've got that great, their pool, has that kid area where it
oh,
weighs,
I know.
it's so good. So then you could come with your grandson.
I know. I know. That would be a lot of fun.
I'm
Well, I'll
thinking
have to
ahead like
think
this
about
summer it
it.
would be
That's for
fun.
sure.
I'll let you know when
It
I
would.
go if
It'd
you
be
want
a
to go
lot of
with
fun.
me and talk to
Check
a
it
lady.
out.
Or
Well, if
they
I
might
go
still
with
just
you, then I'll.
well, they might do just like the swim thing again, where you could get that for the summer where you guys could as I did that one year and me and Lewis went and
Oh,
swam a lot.
yeah. Yeah. If I do go with you, then I'll end up with the membership. So I
Well,
might let
but
you go and
listen,
tell me about it.
lots
Give
of
me the
this could give
price
us more
breakdown.
topics for our podcast.
Oh, dear.
We might
Yes, that's
become
true.
we
Speaking of,
yes.
go ahead.
No, I
We
was gonna
might
say we
what?
might become fitness experts.
Oh, or aquatic tricksters.
Yes, they have an indoor pool. You could swim
Oh,
laps.
dear. Oh, shoo-wee.
All right, go ahead.
Well, all
Sorry.
right. I was just going to say that brings us to the topic of that we're going to be taking a little break. We're going to miss being on here together and reading all of our fan mail, our content, all of our comments. We appreciate all
Yes.
the feedback. We really do. It's been a lot of fun. I'll be like, oh my gosh, did you see this? And so thank y'all for making comments and listening to us and supporting us. And we're going to be coming back with a lot of fun things in season 2, starting our springboard into summer.
Yes, I love that idea and we'll come up with some new things. And thanks for listening to our silly adventures today. It was just sort of a hodgepodge of crazy things that we've participated in.
It was. All right. Ready for Don't Make a Fist, folks.
Start a list. Bye. See you guys in a couple weeks.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.